Timothée Chalamet won Best Actor at the Critics' Choice Awards last night, and one part of his speech reminded me of something that I've seen before, so check out this clip and let's talk on the other side.
Am I forgetting anyone? Help me. Who? Hey, Michael, man. Unbelievable. Just rewatched Sinners. Hadn't seen the after credit scene. I'm happy I stuck around the second time.
Do y'all notice that circle back to once again mention Michael B. Jordan, how much he enjoyed his performance in Sinners? It was a smaller version, but kind of reminded me of this clip.
What's up? This is really embarrassing for me. Megan, girl, I was gonna write a speech about how you deserve this, but then I was like, there's no way they're gonna choose me. I was like, it's hers. You deserve this. You had a year that I think is untoppable.
And if we go even further back, what I consistently see during award season is the reality that Black artists make some of the most incredible art and have the utmost respect of their peers, admiration, sometimes deification at how incredible they are at the art that they create. But there is a disconnect between those who are creating the art, those who are consuming the art, and those who are voting for the awards, which is why we consistently see Black movies and Black artists snubbed in music categories in award season, while at the same time their peers tell us that those movies, television shows, acting jobs, albums were everything. Because even when you work twice as hard as your peers, as Michael B. Jordan did, he literally played 2 roles in that movie. And even when you have the admiration of your peers, the institutions will remind you of the words of the artist formerly known as Kanye West. And even if you're in a Benz, you're still in a coupe.
There was a commenter that said, mind you, they had to bring back Sinners in the theaters more than once. And it's like, I forgot completely about that. I literally went to go see Sinners 3 different times because that's how much the movie spoke to me. It made me feel as though there was more that I needed to see despite sitting in the theater for over 2 hours. And I think this Black creator right here put it in amazing words of what really is going on with Sinners. One person though he forgot to add into this mix is Michael Jackson. I don't know if you guys remember my old video talking about the complexity of Michael Jackson in his life, but whenever Michael Jackson made Bad, the album he made not too long after he infamously bought the Beatles catalog, he didn't win the Grammys at all for Bad. He won 1 award for Bad. Y'all know Bad with Smooth Criminal, Bad, Speed Demon, The Way You Make Me Feel. He won 1 award and it was for like this kids movie award regarding Bad. And then the next Grammys that he was at when he had the Dangerous album, you know, Will You Be There, Remember the Time, In the Closet, he also didn't win any Grammys for that album either. And it was obvious at that point in time that the reason he was being snubbed at all these awards was because he decided to stay Black and he was buying everybody's music back and helping people out that the industry didn't want to be helped out because it made the artists feel like they had more power than they actually did. And the reason why this is so symbolic right now is because Sinners is kind of getting that exact same treatment. Sinners was a Black movie, but it wasn't a Black movie like Black Panther. Black Panther was a Disney Black movie. And, you know, no offense to all my white viewers, but anytime white hands are on something that is supposed to be pro-Black, it always gets watered down because nobody that isn't Black won't fully understand and won't be able to capture the essence of what it means to be Black. But Sinners, on the other hand, although Ryan Coogler first tried to get Disney / Marvel to sign off on it to make it a Blade movie, but they wasn't with it, Coogler instead went to, I forgot which studio he went to. I believe he went to Warner Bros. And whenever he went to Warner Bros, they signed it off. They gave him more ownership and he was able to fully flesh out his vision on the screen. Hence why they had, you know, that KKK scene at the end. I remember FD Signifier said that KKK scene wasn't even needed, and he's right, it wasn't, but it was for us. You know, Black people in the movie were going crazy when we finally got to see, you know, the Black person being able to, you know, kill the people that killed us for so long. But that's something that was for us, by us. So whenever these award shows are coming up, it's almost like it's a way of saying, hey, don't forget who really runs shit. Because how did Marty Supreme and Timothée Chalamet win Best Actor? Marty Supreme's been out for less than like 3 weeks. So, you know, I just think that the award shows, and we're probably going to see it again at the Oscars. Don't be surprised if Sinners doesn't win as many awards as they deserve at the Oscars as well, because, you know, that's what they do.
Michael B. Jordan not winning the Critics' Choice Award last night was very personal. The fact that Sinners won 4 awards last night should tell you that it has nothing to do with the quality of his acting and everything to do with Michael B. Jordan as an actor himself. I want y'all to keep in mind that Michael B. Jordan has consistently prioritized Black narratives during his career. He is building a legacy built off the backs of prominent Black femmes. Fruitville Station, Black Panther, the Creed franchise, and now Sinners. He is using his star power to both fund, produce, and center the Black narrative. He is creating a legacy that exists entirely outside of their validation framework. Do you think that Michael B. Jordan hasn't been asked to be a part of white narratives? Trust me, he has. They are punishing him for not being a pawn in their system to push their narrative. The awards never go to the best actors. The awards goes to those who best serve to push the dominant narrative. And the fact that Michael B. Jordan refuses to do that is why they are punishing him, right? Michael B. Jordan knows why he didn't win that award. He knows that this is a message to him that they will never award him as long as he doesn't play their game. But here's the kicker though. Here's why they're really mad, right? He's proving that their game doesn't matter. That they are playing an old game that is becoming obsolete, because Michael B. Jordan doesn't need awards to succeed, right? He is proving his greatness through box office numbers, right? Through cultural conversation, through legacy. He doesn't need awards to show his impact. What they really fear is that Michael B. Jordan is becoming the blueprint for Black creators everywhere to succeed outside of their framework. And that is why he's a problem. So shout out to Michael B. Jordan, because what you really proved tonight, what you really proved your entire career, is that you have integrity, right? And that you are better than the rest because you don't care about being awarded. You created, you care about uplifting Black voices, about pushing Black people to the pinnacle of success. And for that, my brother, that shows why you really are the greatest of all time and why we will remember you as such.
So I want this message to be more towards, you know, the Black artists, the color artists, the minorities, anybody that may not fit the picture perfect of what, you know, fits at these award shows and fits in these spaces. You know, anytime you look to the external to validate who you are, you will always be disappointed. But the one thing I love about Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, you can tell when they made these films, they already knew what came with this, and they made these for, you know, somebody who wants to be a filmmaker like me, a young filmmaker, a young producer, a young director, a young actor. They made those films for people like us to be inspired. They know it may not get the external recognition that it deserves, but it doesn't matter because internally it touches something in us. And even though Marty Supreme won the awards, I think long after it's all said and done, we'll all be remembering the movie Sinners way over Marty Supreme. So I want the message to all of you to be, especially you Black creators, artists, and just Black people in general. So, you know, when you make things, don't make them for the world, because the world isn't going to see your vision. The world isn't gonna, you know, understand what you're directly giving them. Make it for, you know, that person. Think of a person whenever you making that art, that music. Think of a person, think of a group of people even, and make it for them, because touching those 5 to 10 people may be way more impactful than it is touching those 5,000 to 10,000. Anyways, though, I just want to say shout out to Sinners. It was an amazing film, and we all know who really won. With that though, man, I'm Virgo. If you'd like to book a one-on-one consultation call with me, DM me at Alex the Virgo on Instagram, and go follow my TikTok because we're trying to get the TikTok jumping. Link is in the pinned comment. With that, man, I'll see y'all. Y'all have a great day.